Hashtag no offense uses strong language and is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. Hashtag no offense.
Welcome back to another episode of Hashtag No Offense. My name is Chris, and I am joined as always by the lovely Duchess.
Hello.
And the two-titty, two-ring legend himself, Tampa Jason Two Rings. Say
What up? What up?
Joined as well tonight by the host of the PoBoy Podcast, that motherfucker you might know, Jodie B. Say what's up, Jodie.
What's up, Jodie? How you doing, bitch?
How you feeling, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm well rested. You know,
Ooh.
bounced back from our little our war last night. Our roasting ceremony of one Jason Alme. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into some recapping on that because that was an awesome time.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say, it's nice you had me here, Chris, and Tampa, two titties, two rings. Listen, I'm excited to be able to talk to you tonight, but I'm going to need both of you guys to shut the fuck up for a minute while I address the main reason that I'm here this evening. Hey, what up, Duchess? How you doing,
Hey,
baby?
Jodie. I'm good. I'm recovering as well.
Yeah, you put up a
yesterday.
good show last night. You got your raps, you rippity raps.
I did
want
all
to tell
right.
you made me laugh harder than I think anybody else in at least the first half. And I don't know if you wrote that rap all by yourself, but you were busting on Joe B, and you said, and dating bitches with broke backs.
See, and a lot of people didn't get that. A lot of people don't know that reference because that's deep old school HTNOS before we had more than 10 listeners. So a lot of people don't even know that.
I don't know the whole story. I heard something about the burrito thing like people were going for shit. You had to really have been a listener to pick up some of it, but I don't know what happened. I felt it. You moved me, Duchess.
Oh, thank you. I did write it myself, all by
Big
myself.
bitches with broke backs, and I felt it. So listen, you're my MVP of last night, and don't let anybody fucking tell you any different. Now, gentlemen, you can proceed, but I'm sorry I had to get my fucking business out the way.
No, that's good.
It's all good.
That's good, man, because we can actually reiterate that story once we do a little recap if you want us to tell you. Cause,
it is a scoliosis. The bitch has scoliosis.
Well, PJ said that it was on an episode of HTNOS where he told that story, and it wasn't. It was actually on Joe's old show, Off Color Discussions, YouTube. I was with them, and it was it wasn't even an episode. It was he wanted me to Skype with him and test something, and he just happened to record it, and that just happened to happen while we were talking. So, it was one of them things.
He fucked a bitch with a broke back while you were talking, or he told the story?
No, he told the story. He told the story about it.
My bad.
Let me do this ad read.
Get it.
Valentine's Day is over, so we're back to the standard HTNOS Adam and Eve ad read. So go to adamandeve.com where you will save 50% off just about any one item. And when you select your one item at 50% off, you will also receive 3 free adult DVDs plus a free mystery gift. And to top it all off, they will even throw in some free shipping on your entire order. So go to adamandeve.com, use code HTNOS at checkout. That's HTNOS at adamandeve.com. You missed your shot for 10 free movies, 2 rings. Back down to 3.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little mad at myself for that, but
I know you didn't place an order either, motherfucker.
no, I didn't. But, I mean, I gave you my free DVDs from the last time I ordered something from there.
That's true, and they're still in the bag under the stairs.
Isn't it? Have you guys tried watching porno on a big TV? It's weird. It's real fucking weird. I don't know. I've got a Google Chromecast, and that was the first time I tried it out. And I've got like a 60, 65. It's a big TV. It's not the biggest. It's a grower. And
That's pretty big.
I mean, it's a big TV for watching football. I love it. It's when I used to get into shit like that. And I don't know, man. Like, you put it on there, and it's a lot. It's like half my wall is just people fucking. It's a lot to take in. You can't really
focus.
You can't turn it off real quick either.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
It's a bad move. Really.
Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing too. Because like I had a predicament happen once where, well, wait, I mean, so I was sitting there and I was like, well, let me throw it like Jodie said. I wanted to throw it up on the big screen because I want to kind of see what it looked like. Because I think mine's 60 inches. It
looks the same way as it does on the little one, dude.
The one in the living room? You put it on the living room TV?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you guys
I didn't leave it up there long because same reason,
Well, wait.
Always afraid my kids are going to walk downstairs or something.
So you're in the living room, like sitting with your bare ass on the fucking couch that everybody else sits on too, watching fucking...
No, I wasn't jerking it.
Then what was you putting it up for?
I was just I just wanted to check it out real quick, see what it looked like on the big screen.
He's a fan of the
porn
art
all the time without jerking it. It's fine. Don't worry about him.
No, that's psychotic behavior, dude. What do you mean you're watching porn without jerking, dude?
That's why you watch porn, is to jerk it.
But you haven't...
I mean, like, if you watch porn for 20 or 30 minutes, then you can only jerk off for like 2. Like,
well, what, are you invested in the fucking storyline, dude?
I just like watching people fuck. I mean, it's right there on my phone. I mean, it's hard not to. So, yeah.
But this is kind of where I was going to with it, is that like I have an iPhone, right? So like, and I've got an Apple TV. So, you got to select the Apple TV or whatever, throw it up on the TV. Well, I knew there was a problem when I pulled up my Apple, like the thing to throw it up on the TV, and it showed 2 Apple TVs.
Oh, man.
So it was almost like, okay.
Throw it to your neighbor's house.
It was almost like 50-50. Am I throwing it up on mine or am I throwing it up on theirs?
Did it go to the neighbors?
It actually went to mine, but I was like,
fuck.
So I got lucky. But I was thinking, how funny would it be though?
That'd be hilarious.
Threw it up on my neighbor's TV.
I'd have pushed both buttons.
Hell yeah. I would have did that shit just to do it. Do you know your neighbors?
Well, one of my neighbors, I thought it would have been funny if it would have happened to, but then my other neighbor, I'd probably been like, no, that would have been too much. She was an older lady. She
Oh my gosh.
She'd have been into it, and then she would have showed up at your fucking door.
What is on my television?
Neighbor drama's the best. I saw a thing one time. It said if you kind of want to fuck with your neighbors, just change your Wi-Fi gateway to FBI surveillance van.
That's awesome.
So every time some dickhead is searching for Wi-Fi at your neighbor's house, like FBI surveillance van pops up.
That's
like,
fucking genius, dude.
Serious. Neighbor drama.
In addition to Adam and Eve, check out spunklube.com as well and stop jerking it like a caveman. I got some. You know what? It's fucked up that you're here, Jodie, because you're like the originator of Spunk Lube, aren't you?
I am not the originator. I am just a person who got it before you.
I was told that you were like the fucking inception of Spunk Lube.
No. Now I'm close. I'm close to the inception. I'm probably like 3rd tier. I believe there was probably another level or 2 before me. I know the guy who doesn't do a show anymore, who used to get paid to do like money to do it. So,
That's a thing?
I'm right after that when they realized that there's no way to really prove, that you're selling this shit. And they were like, all right, we're not giving you money anymore, but we'll send you fucking
Free
ginormous bottles of lube. Want?
Speaking of which, I talked to Jeff at Spunk Lube today, and we're launching a new Spunk Lube contest. Our sex story contest that we ran around episode 50 or so had a real good response. We got some fucked up stories. I mean, Blunt Mommy sent us like fucking 12 just by herself.
Right, well, duh.
Respect.
What's that?
I said respect.
No, for sure. I mean, like, I felt like as she submitted that many stories that I couldn't even put her up against the other people. Like, I gave her her own category that she won. I'm like, you did your thing. All right, everyone else is going to compete for fucking second.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of good sex stories. I got, like, situations that are funny, and, like, where I banged my buddy's mom once, almost.
That's fucking good. That's a good story. What are you talking about? You ain't got good stories.
But, like, that's not I believe a good story is one that people can relate to. That's not like
I'd like to relate to that.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Okay, did you ever let one of your buddy's moms blow you?
I wish.
Yeah.
They never asked.
That's true. It's funny now. I mentioned it on my show. Like, I think now that they might have been swingers, and I just really wasn't with all the dumb shit. I like to sit around and get fucked up. And so, like, just one night, shit panned out. But I'll save that for the contest.
Nice.
How about that?
Nice.
Well, that was the other contest. If you think you can't relate to our other contest, you're definitely not going to relate to this one, because this one we're looking for bad dating app stories. Your Tinder mishaps, your Tinder fucking success stories. I don't fucking know. Grinder. I mean,
on Craigslist.
Jason likes the Grinder shit. I mean, you met a fucking transvestite on Backpage. I don't fucking know. Whatever you got.
It sounds like it's right up the plunges alley.
Well, you know what? I reached out to Riley before I did this because I'm like, hey, I don't want you to think I'm like pilfering your fucking material, though, dude. Like, so unless you're not cool with this is what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, man, I know a lot of people. I'm gonna send them your way.
Yeah, I know some people too. So we'll see. Well, they're already sponsored, so I guess that doesn't really count, huh?
Unless you just want more. I don't know.
Well, I like to give them a shout out. Actually, you were on my show recently, so we talked about them, and I've kind of made new friends with the guys from that Everything Sexy show, probably Rick and Jamal.
Yeah.
I might be sending him my old mixer. They said they want to get a little deeper into it.
Get a little deeper with Spunk Lube.
That's right. Get some slippery on your dick. No, I think that they're really good guys. It's funny because we have private conversations, and I think I've done enough research and I've listened to enough shows that I can recognize talent when I hear it. I'm not saying I'm the best or anything like that. I'm saying I've listened to hundreds of hours of podcasts at this point.
Sure.
So I really feel like I can judge and say there's something there. Mm-hmm. These two dudes and their concept, I really think there's something there. And I listened to their episode this week. They were talking about all the single ladies. And what's wrong with all the single ladies in the swinger lifestyle community and stuff like that. So it was really cool. Like, they actually said they weren't dicks. They were honest, and they said, this is what happens. Sometimes shit gets crazy, and you just got to avoid it. So it was nice.
Single ladies in the swinging community is like what they're referred to as the unicorns, right? Because they don't fucking exist.
That was one of the things. Is the assumption is that it's a unicorn, and I think they classified them as. Hang on, let's see. It was Desperate Housewives, tricksters, and
tricksters.
Fuck. There was one other one. It was something about. It was insecurity thing. It was very informative. Because these guys, I guess, have been in whatever their lifestyles. One dude is into like kinky shit. Well, I think they both get their freak on, but
yeah,
like one dude specifically, I think is into like banging multiple chicks all the time, and then the other one is just like, let's just see what happens. And he's the dude I'm talking to, Jamal. He's an attorney.
Wow.
I feel like that's the person you want to be friends with, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
sure.
Keep that kind of guy on your side, especially you.
Okay, that's a good point. You never know what I might end up fucking.
So yeah, if you've got a great dating app story, you got a Tinder hookup that you wanna submit to this contest, we'll run it for a few weeks like we did last time, and we'll narrow it down to some finalists and let the listeners vote and get yourself a Spunk Lube prize pack.
Sounds awesome.
Talking about dating apps and dating stories, I mean, I know we're all old and married and shit, but I mean, we just had Valentine's Day a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Did you do anything special, Jody?
Me? What did I do for Valentine's Day? We got sushi.
Oh wow, that's more than I was expecting.
No, this is I'm notorious for not really doing much for Valentine's Day. And this year I kind of felt like it would be an opportunity to do something nice. So I took half a day off. I came home and I detailed my wife's car. We have a 3-year-old, so it's just fucked up all the time. All the seats, there's crumbs and crackers and shit everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So I came home, I gave the whole car the rub down, baby. I hit all the buttons and the steering wheel crevices and shit. I figured I'd fucking suck off all the shit from her floorboards.
Oh, you said suck off, and I lost my train of thought.
That was my point. That's called a mind trick. I figured I would suck off all the dirt and bullshit out of her car, and then maybe later on in the evening she would repay the favor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I got you now. I got you.
And I was up editing because, I haven't had an episode in like 2 fucking weeks, so I've had anxiety like trying to get it. Mm-hmm. My computer fucked up, and I was in here, and the baby woke up at like 12:15. So I missed out on all kinds of dick sucks and butt fucks and all that good stuff. And I went to bed completely dry, having taken half a day off to detail my wife's car.
Well, that's probably the spirit of Valentine's Day, man. Just a big disappointment.
Yeah, he went to bed dry too. No biggie. I walked in the door pissed off.
Yeah, she came through spitting fire, and I was like, way to fucking set the tone. I guess I know what we're in for tonight, but I mean,
how's it be?
even aside from that though, like I don't know, I was being kind of fucking like salty in our chat even when everyone was sending their dinners and shit. I was like, we're fucking adults, man. Like, what are y'all making a big goddamn deal about Valentine's Day for? Like, my kids fucking write Valentine's Day, man. We're adults. We don't do Valentine's Day. Every day's, you appreciate your fucking person all year. Am I right?
I don't expect shit.
And that's the same excuse I use too, buddy. But apparently it doesn't work on all chicks. And you know what? Some of you guys out here, you motherfuckers, like your Adobe, making beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington.
Dickhead.
Come on, man.
Dickhead, your wife doesn't like beef Wellington.
Right.
You know how many guys cook steak for their wives on February the 14th? Like, I go to the store and it's just a bunch of dipshits with $2 bottles of booze and fucking half-ass decent steaks because all the good ones are already gone by the people that thought about getting it the day before. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of assholes just sifting through the last 5 or 6 cards on the fucking rack and the shitty flowers that are left over.
See, and this was the first year I didn't even get you a card.
And that's fine. It ends up in the trash anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, and you've started to weasel your way into my brain.
But I think we should start a movement because that's what we did this year. My wife, you know what she bought me? She bought me a Funko Pop Rocco. You remember Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life?
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah. She bought me a Funko Pop Rocco and Spunky. It was like a single thing. And she bought my kid a Mr. Hanky because he's been learning how to use the potty.
Nice. Nice.
So he got all those toys to play with. So my present, was for him basically. Nice. And then I vacuumed her car and we had sushi. That's it. And that's the kind of expectations we should be setting for other couples in this goddamn situation all around the world who are spending too much money on bullshit when you should be loving your significant other every day.
Hell yeah.
And paying your respects and kissing her on her motherfucking face or his face, whatever, when you wake up and stop wasting so much goddamn money on candy and flowers.
Yeah. Grow the fuck up.
I kind of felt bad though when he sent that sad picture of just a bowl of macaroni and cheese.
I loved it. It made me laugh out loud. I go, that's fucking love right there.
That's legit.
And it wasn't even Kraft, it was Publix brand.
And I didn't even make it. She did.
I made it. But I put extra cheese in it, so it's okay.
Okay. I mean, do what you love. It's weird because every year I used to get the shunning. And I think after about 3 or 4 years of a good shunning, my wife finally figured it out. Like, I love you. I see you every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I tell you I love you. I do things and I try to help. You can go talk to your friends about their dickhead husbands that don't do shit.
Truth.
I don't have to prove it. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. I do things around here. Mm-hmm. So let's not make a big deal out of this. I'll make you dinner. I'll rub your feet. And maybe later, let me put my dick inside you.
Maybe.
Cool.
If it's a Tuesday, deal's off.
Well, yeah.
Reach.
We know how that goes. But I saw something fucked up, too, because a lot of people, are alone for Valentine's Day, and there's a lot of fucking bitter dudes and chicks out there. There's a zoo in Texas that will let you name a cockroach, and they will feed it to a meerkat for you, and you name it your ex. Mm-hmm. I thought that was fucked up. Because you know what I'm finding out when I search each week for the Florida stories?
What?
That Texas is Florida light.
Yeah, I can
There's
see
a
that.
lot of fucked up shit that happens in Texas. It does not get the same attention that the Florida shit does.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. There's a lot of stupid Texas shit.
You know why they probably did the meerkat, too? Because them things are fucking savage. They hold that thing like a cookie and just, go at
Just
it.
not.
Yeah, it's nasty as fuck.
I was gonna call up there and name 1 2 rings, but I seen it too late. I missed it.
I think they were doing something else, too, with, a fish or something. They were feeding it to a seal. It's once that cockroach thing caught on, there was a few other ones that were like that.
Oh, you saw this, too?
Mm-hmm. I think the funniest one, though, is, if you can send, cow shit in the shape of a heart. So it's like a cow patty.
Oh, shit.
And you can send it through the mail to your ex or whatever, and you can send it anonymous.
That's fucking cool.
It's just a
What I
piece of
posted
shit.
the other day, it's like a big chocolate dick. I think it's like eatadick.com or something like that.
No, really?
Yeah. We got
Hold
one
on.
for our
It's-
team lead who's gay. We got him a big chocolate dick.
It's called Dicks by Mail. Mm-hmm. And you can get a 12-inch chocolate dick fully casted, looks like a dildo in a box. And you mail it anonymously to anybody you want. And when you open the box, underneath the lid, it says in big fucking letters, "Eat a dick."
Sure does.
That's fucking killer.
Chocolate dick. They sell other stuff too, like little gummy dicks and stuff. But yeah, their piece de resistance is a fucking big chocolate dick for like $20.
Wonder if you can get the
really
chocolate
want to
buttholes.
send one.
That would be funny. They got those chocolate buttholes too, but I don't know if they have those. Where they take a cast and they put chocolate in they take a cast of your butthole and then you can like make chocolate buttholes.
I think the chocolate buttholes is fairly new. I don't know.
Oh.
Hey, now hold on now. Like, so when you make a cast of a butthole, you talking about like just like a Cheerio? Or like
no. See, like it's like those
inside a little bit. Like what does it look like?
Kinda almost. You know those gold coins, or like they're chocolate coins and they're wrapped in the gold tinfoil.
Yeah, the Jew coins. Got it.
Sure. Yeah, it's about.
I see them in TV and Jewish kids play with them. That's apparently when they do their what's the dreidel game? They play with chocolate. I think it's chocolate
that's how
money.
when they learn. When they learn about money when they're that young.
So they're about that size. And they've got the wrinkles, like the fucking wrinkles of the butthole, but they're kind of like ribbon shaped because it's got...
Kind of looks like a Rolo.
Almost, yeah.
I love Rolos.
But it looks like a butthole.
Well, then you would love buttholes too, Jody.
Being like the model to do that, because you have to like roll up on your back, put your legs behind your head, spread your cheeks, and they can like dump silicone in your butt.
Well, they did a cast of like one lady, and then like that's the one butthole everybody gets.
They have a kit, I'm pretty sure, because they have kits for make your wiener, and they have a kit for like somebody's vagina. I'm pretty sure they have a butthole kit.
Probably.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Nothing ever does. Speaking of which, let's get into some Florida stories.
Yup.
Woo, doggy. Hey, Beatrice.
Yeah?
Get your ass in here. These no-offense boys about to do Welcome to Florida again.
Let me grab the natty.
Oh, shit, and I thought my family was fucked up.
So my first story tonight, we're in Oldsmar, which is kind of close to us, where a Florida man is under arrest accused of video recording himself performing sexual acts on his dog.
Oh, no.
I love that. I love that
Poor
little
dog.
laugh. That little laugh.
Oh, no. What kind of dog was it?
I was gonna say, I hope it's at least a big dog.
Exactly what I was
Tiny
thinking.
dog.
It was a little husky.
We'll get into it. According to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Christian Nichols, 21, has been charged with 1 count of aggravated animal cruelty stemming from an investigation after someone in another state contacted Animal Services regarding video and photographs on the internet of a man having sexual contact with a dog.
Can't do that.
The video shows images of a man dressed in a black and white husky dog costume.
Oh, my God.
He was dressed like a dog.
The costumed man is seen in the video having inappropriate sexual contact with the actual Siberian husky.
Oh, it was a husky.
Well, yeah, it's a bit. One, he dressed up like one too to make it, I guess, more. I don't know, like receptive.
Believable.
No, he wanted the thing to like, I don't know, be more receptive.
Sneaking up on it and shit.
Yeah, well, probably wouldn't even have to. I don't know.
Well, his dick is still like 4 times the size of a dog dick.
But my body. Yeah. That's fucking weird, man.
That is weird. I mean, it's bad enough that you're fucking a dog, but then you're gonna dress up like one and then put it on the internet, no less.
I'm sure there'll be a special on Netflix.
You think he fucked it in the butt?
No, I hope it's a female dog.
Because I'm just saying, like, I don't
bet you
know
bleed
how
for
big
days.
dog pussies are, but I feel like unless you had something real sturdy, like a bulldog or a mastiff or something, like, I just don't know if you could penetrate a dog. Like, and if it hurt, they would probably bite you. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Like, I feel like there's a point where I just assume everybody's butt fucking dogs when they're fucking dogs. I don't know. That's just me.
Maybe that's what the dog costume was for. So if he got bit,
That's probably what it was.
Extra layer of protection.
you know how like when they have the cop dogs that do the training, like they wear that big thing around the arm or whatever. Like,
Look at you thinking this out. I was just going to say, I thought about this already too much, and fucking Tampa 2 titty ring.
no, I don't. I do not think about this.
Hell, he probably came across it with all his porno watching
Oh
and shit.
no, hell no.
Don't click on that category.
No.
Detectives say the dog in the video was clearly in distress, and at one point the dog tries to run away, and the man responds by striking it with a sex toy.
What?
Jesus.
He hit it with a dildo.
He did.
Oh my God.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
Through various techniques, detectives tracked the video and photographs to Nichols, and he was talked to by detectives at his home, where they said he admitted making the video with his dog Ember and shared it on the internet.
He's even got a stripper name.
Man, that's
Ember.
Yeah,
up,
stripper
dude.
name.
He was arrested, and Ember and a second dog were removed from the home, and detectives say additional charges are likely to follow.
That's crazy. I wonder if he gets put on like a do not buy list. Like if like, you know, he goes to buy a dog from Petland, his picture pops up like do not sell to this man.
Maybe.
There's
I don't
got to
know.
be something like that.
Blacklist for dogs?
Yeah.
Can't be
Probably
fucking
at the
dogs.
pound at least. Like
At
I
the
bet his
pound.
name or picture gets circulated. It's the internet. You know what I'm saying?
It's a distinct picture.
Yeah, you can't go around just butt fucking dogs. People are gonna know about it and they're gonna tell their friends.
I gotta clip that, dude. You can't just go around butt fucking dogs.
You can't. That's the problem is,
frowned upon.
I don't even think it's against the law everywhere. It's just wrong. Like you could scar somebody for life. A child, an old man. I mean, you might kill somebody if they're old enough and they haven't seen that kind of shit in their day, and they walk up on you, a grown man, Chris Watsky.
No.
Blood fucking a boxer.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They
Don't
go
put
up
that
and
on me.
what the and they fall the fuck out. Like I don't know.
I didn't do
Blood
it.
fucking dogs ain't cool. Don't do it.
Don't
You are
do it.
perpetuating so many rumors about me on the internet the last 48 hours, Jodie B.
Come on, dude. I'm still in that gear, and it's a problem. So I got to get out tonight, and then I think I'll be fine.
We're gonna stay in town here in Tampa.
Something a little lighter, I hope.
Yeah, I know, right? God,
Well, this
that
is
poor-
something that we can actually fantasize about versus the last story. We're in Tampa, where a Florida man received a huge IRS refund by falsely claiming that he paid $1 million in taxes.
Yeah, like that wasn't going to get flagged.
So the IRS has already recouped much of the $980,000 refund from the Tampa resident Ramon Christopher Blanchett that he told a 7-digit lie on his income tax return to get.
Ramon.
Blanchett called himself a, quote, freelancer and reported $18,000 worth of income. But in that same self-prepared 1040 return, he also reported that $1 million had been withheld in taxes, which led to a $980,000 refund check that he actually fucking got.
Wow.
Like they didn't flag it or anything. They cut him a fucking check for almost $1 million. Which I want to know where the fuck, like, how's the government just cutting $1 million check
Right?
for some dude and not
Yeah.
even fucking questioning it? How the fuck does that happen?
That's
I
crazy.
mean, that's where all the money's at. But I'm saying, like, it wasn't like that movie Blank Check, where, like, you give the check to some fat dude and he has to sit in his desk for an hour
Right.
and just make sure that the money's really there when you hand somebody a check. Is that, like, fraud or something? Can you get
It's
arrested?
got to be.
Yeah.
Like, if I walk into a bank tomorrow with a check from my wife that says $1 million and I put it on a thing and I go, I'd like to cash this check. Like, can I get arrested for that?
I don't think you could say that with a straight face.
Right.
I've got this check for $1 million and I would
I
like
can
that
say
in
it with a
cash.
straight face. I just don't know if I could say it twice. If you land it the first time, but after that, I'd be like, I'm kidding. I don't want to go to jail. So
When I
please.
used to work at the bank, if we had a check that was a significant amount of money, we'd actually call the bank to make sure the funds were there before we'd cash it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like for a $980,000 check, when you've been depositing your couple grand a month, if you're lucky, you know what
Right.
I'm saying, for the last 10 years, I think somebody's going to call somebody.
Right?
Just to double check.
Well, it says that he used $49,000 of it to buy a Lexus, which has since been seized by federal authorities, along with 3 bank accounts worth combined $920,000.
Oh, so he spread it around.
He put it in a few different spots.
They can trace that shit.
See, you should have
should've
put
sent
it
it
in
overseas.
offshore. Yeah, so then they couldn't have touched it.
Is that
You watch Ozark, didn't you?
I didn't look at
Well,
that.
no,
yet. I
but
gotta
that's the
watch
whole
that.
deal. I mean, I've always seen in shit like that. That's what happens.
you
Is
gotta
if
do.
you put it in
Offshore
offshore accounts, they can't take.
The government can't.
They can't take that money.
Well, it says if you add everything up, they recovered $970,000 of the $980,000 that he received. A Tampa-based spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office says he could also not disclose how the error was discovered. A representative for the IRS in Washington, D.C. declined to discuss Blanchett's case Friday, and Blanchett himself, who could not be reached for comment, has not yet been criminally charged, but an investigation is ongoing. I think that's like Jody said. I mean, that's a fraud waiting to happen. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not going to get away, even though they recouped it, you know?
No, because it's like, you make $30,000 a year. I think they withheld like $4,000 or something. It's ridiculous. to
I
even
think
try to
once
put
you
that.
submit it, man, like you're kind of Because I'm sure in some of that real small print at the bottom it says, I verify that everything here is true and legal and all that, just so that if you do waste their time and they give you a check for $1 million and they have to take it back, I think they're going to be pretty pissed off about having to deal with you.
And that's red flag central, man. Like, I made 18 grand, but I paid $1 million in taxes. How?
Right, because
That's all my tips from my server job.
Yeah, right. No, my freelancing business. That's like you, dog. I paint shoes and I paid $1 million in taxes. Give me my shit.
People,
But
I love it.
that's one to
kinda go through
fantasize about, though.
what, getting $1 million?
Yeah, if I got some big ass check like that, you know, I would poof. I'd be gone. Like,
You just leave us behind, huh?
oh, I mean,
You assumed that okay.
yeah,
I was included.
Yeah, y'all were coming with, but hey, I mean, you just added a new dimension to the fantasy, so I mean, fuck it.
True.
Y'all wouldn't even know my name.
Before I leave you $1 million, like maybe 200,000 and a change of clothes, and I'm going to meet you in an undesignated location, right?
I'd go off the grid so quick, man. I'd be living on a fucking boat in a Bermuda Triangle.
We'd be moving to Northport like I want.
No,
I
we
mean,
would
let's be
not.
honest. It's only $1 million. How far is
It's
that
not
going
that
to fucking get
true.
you in this day and age?
It'd get me
I'm not
by
trying to
myself.
be hateful. $1 million would be life changing for, I'm sure, anybody listening right now.
Sure.
But I mean, it's only $1 million. It might buy you 10 years.
Me by
of your
myself,
life,
I'd be
you know?
fine.
Yeah, you live in a shack somewhere on a beach.
Hell yeah.
You'd be all right.
I'd be borderline homeless with a lot of cash, and I would just be drinking Pabst Blue Ribbons and fucking eating Doritos and shit, and fucking just living large.
He's not going to be at a beach. He's going to be at a fucking underground shelter in like
No.
Washington or
No,
like
that cabin that I told
desert.
you.
Yeah,
Remember
like,
that
wherever
cabin?
the fuck, Alaska. Where was that?
It was in Minnesota on the fucking Canadian border, remote as fuck. It didn't even have running water. That's where I'd be.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I don't doubt that.
Shitting in holes and whatever.
Yeah, with a stack of fucking bills. Just that's what I'd sleep
That's
on.
what he'd wipe his ass with.
Oh my god.
I tell you
You
what,
live in-
I got a buddy that says he's got a buddy who lives. He lives right. I got to be kind of vague. He lives in a very similar situation to what you just said. Yeah, he believes. You said, what did you say? Minnesota, Michigan? What did you fucking say?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. It's one of those, but he's got a buddy that lives right on the border. There's like a literally a body of water that separates the line.
Same place, dude. He could be my neighbor.
He grows weed in Canada, like on the other side of the bank. He grows
Ferries
pot
it.
there,
Yeah.
and then he drives a little boat from one side to the other, and he chops down his weed, and he takes it back to the house, and he hangs it up and lets it dry and all this shit. So it's kind of a fun plan when you think about it. I mean,
Sounds pretty sweet to me.
Hey, it's totally legal right over there. So fuck off. I'm going to grow all I want over there.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's like, did y'all ever watch that documentary? It's about a place in California where I guess there's a lot of people that go missing in this area because it's like a real remote, like forest area, and but it's where a lot of people grow cannabis and stuff.
Like Humboldt County shit.
That's
like the
exactly where it's at, is Humboldt County. Yeah.
It's like the Green Triangle, the Golden Triangle. There's like 3 cities there where they grow a lot of weed.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like they have their own police, like they're their own police out there.
Is that the shit that I told you about with the cult?
It's called Murder Mountain is the name of the documentary.
Oh, that sounded like that Wild Wild Country that I told you to watch where they came in and took over that fucking town up there.
Oh yeah, I hadn't watched that, but yeah, it's crazy.
So next one I got for you is Lake Worth, and this is actually a video I want to show y'all. Florida man caught on camera licking a doorbell.
Oh, that's the second one then.
It is. It's like the one that happened in California earlier this year.
How long did he lick for? Because the first one was 3 hours.
Yeah, not as long as that. Jody, I sent this to you earlier,
Ew.
so I mean you're not seeing this now, obviously, but I assume you checked it out
That's
earlier, man. You see
disgusting.
this motherfucker licking the door and shit.
At least he just licked it once, I guess.
No, he stood there for a while.
It's a very weird video.
That's disgusting. You can see up his nose and everything.
No, just keep watching. That's a lighter, by the way.
What did he
on,
sniff? Oh, that's fucking
Oh,
gross.
that's on the stack of books there or whatever?
That's a Bic lighter on top of a folded up, like, it's some kind of paper. I don't know if it's like a magazine or newspaper or something. But he's standing in front of the door, and he's got holding a paper. And at first, he's got a Bic lighter on top of it, and he's just standing there. Then he walks up, licks the doorbell, backs up and he holds the paper to where you can't see it, but you can see that it's some kind of piece of paper. And he starts pointing to words on the fucking shit, but you can't see what he's pointing to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy if he was pointing to like, hey, bitch, I'm going to fucking kill your whole family in 3 weeks. And nobody can see what he said. I don't know. But then he licks the camera again and he walks the fuck off.
It's so weird.
So it says, if you don't find this surprising, it's probably due to the one of two things. That it's Florida, or the fact that this happened already once before.
It's so gross.
I'm sorry, man. I'll take it down.
even-
I'm sorry.
You can see up his nose and the way he licks. I would not want him eating my pussy. Like it's just that's just a bad time. Like,
Straight to where it goes, huh?
ugh, so
To be
nasty.
completely honest, I don't know how much you know about methamphetamines, but you might like that guy licking your pussy, as you put it.
Then I would
because
have meth vagina. What were we talking about?
That's a good point. I
Smelling
don't
like a
think
frog
things-
farting.
Yeah.
Look, I'm no detective, but I'm telling you that man is on methamphetamine. When he came in on that camera, like I was trying to just watch and see what he was doing, and after about the 5th time I watched that video, I noticed on the way in his pupils are the size of pinkies. Like you could literally take your pinky and stick it inside his fucking eyeball hole and twist it. He is spaced the fuck out. He is standing in front of somebody's house, scaring somebody's mom right now. It's fucking crazy.
Well, I actually have a quote from the lady that lives there. She says, his name's Jeremy and he's homeless. He's asked my husband for cigarettes a few times and now he's coming around way too fucking much. This is the last straw. I've notified the police. And that's
Yeah, all right, Bertha.
she sent the Ring video off because this was caught with like a ring doorbell or whatever.
Yeah.
Which are like very popular now, man. Like
there's lots.
I want to
of
get
people now.
those.
Well, I've been wanting to install cameras around here for how fucking long? I've been telling you I want to get cameras inside the house too, because then I can document my fucking alien activities and shit that you
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
don't believe me on. Every time I have a fucking alien encounter and shit, I wake up to tell her about it, and I can hear her eyes roll. I'm like, yeah, wait until I get my fucking cameras installed. Then what?
Well, it's crazy. Oh, go ahead, Jody.
No, by all means, go.
No. I was just gonna say it's crazy too because they have like Ring floodlights now and stuff. So it's like you can have your Ring doorbell, but then you can also have the floodlights on the say like near the back corner of the house and stuff like that. So if somebody then tries to walk around the back, the floodlights will turn on, and then it also has a camera on them as
That's
well
cool.
too. It's crazy.
I need all that.
Yeah.
I need
I think
all of
they
it.
should have a soundboard too, like a dog barking or a shotgun racking. That'd be
That's $1 million idea right there.
I'm just saying that motherfucker was on the porch, and I don't know if he actually rang the doorbell, but obviously he knew there was a
With his
camera
tongue.
there, and he was fucking with it. So if there was just some way to have like detection, if somebody lingers in that camera too long, and it's 2 a.m., you just hear something go shh, shh in the background. It's
Well,
like, all right, never mind.
Well, he wouldn't even have to ring it because, like, all that's motion detected. So, like, I actually work with a guy that has it, and we'll be sitting there eating lunch or something, and his phone will go off, and it's like a plastic bag blowing across his front porch or something, and the Ring notified him to his app, hey, check out your camera feed or whatever.
'Cause
And he'll be like,
something's going on.
yeah, and he'll be like, God damn it, man, there's a fucking plastic bag blowing around on my doorstep, and it'll just be notifying him over and over and shit. So, like, he wouldn't even have to actually do it just to be there and to set it off or whatever. They would know.
Look, to be honest with you, those cameras were invented by one of two things. Either dudes who got tired or worried about their wives getting fucked by somebody, or people who legit have to worry about meth heads and crackheads coming up on their porch and fucking with shit.
Fucking extraterrestrials.
I get it. Drugs are bad, kids. Like, you don't want to be fucking with that shit. That
No.
stuff will destroy you.
Hey, I haven't seen one ET yet on those Ring doorbells.
Dude, I tell you what, I actually posted this on Twitter the other night because like the fucking thought popped in my mind. Every time I walk by my front door, I have this fucked up thing where I go to like look out the window for whatever reason just to see what's out there, no matter what time of day or night it is.
Yeah.
And I always have the expectation that I am going to see one of those kids with the black eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The black guys?
Yeah, the black eye. No, the black eyed, not the black guys.
What'd you
Black-eyed
say?
kids.
Black guys?
The black eyed
Black
kids.
guys, you know.
All I'm hearing is black guys.
I know that's what you're hearing, man, but that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm whatever, dude. I'm fucked up with aliens.
I don't fucking believe in ghosts, not one little
Yes, you
bit.
do. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you do too.
I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in aliens. Like, I like the idea where people say, "Whoa, if we're the highest of the food chain, then it's stupid to think." Okay,
Is
maybe
that your
they-
impersonation of me?
No, that's not you. That's every other generic motherfucker that really has no clue, and they're just like, well, I don't know. There might be aliens. There might be aliens somewhere, and they just think we're retarded, and they're like, we don't want to play with these motherfuckers. They blow shit up, and they fuck everything.
Yeah, we're like a zoo for them. They just watch us do stuff.
Yeah, like an ant farm. I'm cool with that if that's the situation. But as far as like ghosts and shit, whatever. Fuck it. I posted a thing about Paul Mooney. He said if ghosts were real, slaves would come back and beat the shit out of all of us.
I can hear him saying that too.
It's still his fucking shit, but it made the most sense I've ever heard in my life. He goes, white people, stop it with the ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. He said, because if there were, slaves would come back and beat all of y'all's asses.
Yeah.
And laugh, and he goes, what? You think only white people get to beat ghosts?
I was just going to say that. That's what popped in my head. I was like, in all the fucking stories that the Duchess makes me watch, never is there a black ghost. It's always a fucking old white dude.
Look, it's fine. I like the idea of entertainment, and
You're
if you
right.
want to watch a show and be kind of like, ooh, there might be some shit. I want to see Zach Bagans get pushed down a flight of stairs so bad, guys.
So do
and I have to believe in my heart of hearts at this point, I'm not alone. And if there's millions of people watching the show going, I just wish a ghost would kick him in his ass right when
Well, how do they know if they're black or white anyway? You can't see them.
That's a good point. Are black folks ghosts like darker? Or are they all white?
You
This is a
don't
good
normally
fucking question.
You don't normally see them though because they're just energy, and when they do present
here we
them
go.
themselves, they could
listen to this
be
shit.
like a shadow figure. They're not always like a complete entity.
They're just energy.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
You should be, because you live in the
And
goddamn hill house.
They could manipulate themselves to be seen any way that they want to be seen. So
I
even if
believe
it was some
people
old white dude, he can make himself a kid, or because a lot of times they'll trick the little ones because they're more open-minded. So they'll trick the kids into thinking that they're safe when they're not, and then make them follow them into the woods or into a well.
Let me tell you what. May or may not. I may or may not have experienced something while I was out of town last week, and I'm not. I'm not prepared to fucking unleash that yet. But there is a subset to that story that resulted in me having a sleep paralysis episode, and the Duchess is shaking her head at me right fucking now. I swear to God, it fucking happened.
Chris,
Okay.
that's called Roofalin.
That's called Almelin.
Jason Alme slipped you a roofie because he was going to butt fuck you. But you're lucky. You fought it off, and I'm happy that you didn't have any lasting effects, guy.
You and
Good
me
job.
both, man. And on that note, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Sometimes you want to go where nobody knows your name. The Small Town Mentality Podcast with Ben and Austin.
What's up, guys?
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
It's your host, Ben and Austin from the Small Town Mentality Podcast.
And if you're some real cool dudes,
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Oh, my bad. We got to keep it PC for this promo.
you can follow us on Twitter at STM Pod, on Instagram at Small Town Mentality Podcast, and on Facebook at STM Pod. You can find us everywhere podcasts are played.
Yep. So if you're some real cool dudes...
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
My bad, sir. I didn't mean to call you that.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I'll keep that in mind next time we have it up. Come check us out.
Small Town Mentality Podcast.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I didn't even say sir that time.
Yo, it's your boy Joe B of the NE Podcast. Look for that shit 2019. I'm just here checking out hashtag no offense. You know who it is. The Duchess, 2 rings, 2 titties, and your boy Chris killing that shit. I just wanted to come spit some weekly bars for y'all. Yo, I wrote that boat from coast to coast. I'm nationwide, the local folks that smoke that roast don't mean to boast, but the skills go. I'm roasting pros and not supposed to go to show the level I'm at the capability. I hold the globe for Atlas, yo. Been doing this for centuries. It still perplexes me. The people be thinking they're hot shit, but can't spit the lick, so you should quit. And the bad adult you forfeit, kid. Let's not forget the things that made us who we are. 11:27, yeah, still styling at that bar. Let's go. Have a good week. I'll take you guys later. Peace. Oh yeah, bye Jodie B.
And we're back. Second half. Jodie B in the house.
That's it, huh?
That's it. That's how I bring it back.
Right on.
I'm not drinking, so.
Wait, Let me try this. You want to try it from the top? Somebody count me down.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
No, you don't say 2 or 1.
He can't see you.
What's up, you motherfucker?
That works too.
Jodie B. And we're back with the second half of the hashtag No Offense Show, HTNOS on Twitter, motherfucker.
Love it.
Yeah, I like it.
That's way better than mine.
I'm gonna keep that one. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're sitting here with Jodie B tonight from the PoBoy Podcast. Jodie, tell our listeners that might not know, about you and what you're all about. And I mean, if they don't, fucking shame on them, because I mean, you're a great show. Mm-hmm. But tell us a little bit about your show.
Oh man, I like talking to folks. That's at the end of the day, I like meeting strangers. That's what the show used to be when I didn't have friends. I just had like, hey, random person, you want to be on my podcast? And sometimes it paid off. Sometimes it sucked, but I mean, it was still nice to be able to interact with people. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time. So a lot of my friend time, my interaction socially is through social media and podcasting. So that's it. I just pick somebody that's cool or somebody that I think needs a little bit of a platform. Like mine's not huge. I got a good sized platform, guys, considering. And, I like to shine a light on people. That's my goal. And, I think I have interesting stories too, occasionally. I've got like 5. You know what I mean? I got like 5 good fucking stories. And I think that keeps me, motivated to learn more about other people's stories, because I believe everybody's got some good ones. And that's what I do.
Well, you're good at riffing too, because I mean, like the very first episode that I ever listened to of your show was actually with Blunt Mommy, when you had her on, when her first podcast went south with that other guy that she was with, and you had her on to kind of tell her side of the story or whatever. And I was sitting there listening, and I remember just thinking, like, how fucking smooth you were, because I saw your picture and I didn't think that your voice matched your fucking face. Like, I heard your audio and I was like, that's a smooth motherfucker, man. Like, he's got a polished radio voice. And then I saw you and I was like, well, that don't match.
I get that a lot. No, man. I mean, I think it's a Southern thing. I stutter too. Have you guys noticed that lately? Nope. I've chopped it up a lot. I've started stuttering and I got to knock that shit off. I've had jobs where I've had to interact with people socially a lot. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty good at it. I'm not the best, but I'm definitely okay at just starting a conversation with somebody, which I think not a lot of people have that ability. A lot of people get very shy when it comes to I'll walk up to a stranger and start talking to them.
See, and I've got that. Like, starting a conversation isn't a problem. Carrying a conversation and, like, having it be entertaining, like we're kind of supposed to do and how we're kind of supposed to be portrayed, that's the art. And that's where I give it to guys like yourself and like a Jason Alme, where
I'm really good at it.
He's fantastic.
I'm not in the same category. We're both good, but he's in a different spot. Like, Alme's really good at off the cuff shit. I think he turns into a different person when that red light comes on, for real.
Oh no, he definitely. I mean, that gets his dick hard for sure. I mean, and we all joked about it last night when we were ribbing him. He's got the biggest ego in the world, and he'll talk to you, about everything and tell you everything in the world. But I mean, like, the Duchess and I have this conversation, and we had it when Alme was on too, where she thinks he's a little bit more long-winded, and I'm more on the side where it's an audio medium, and he's going to have to talk, and he does it well. I mean, like, he definitely conveys his point for sure.
Yeah,
and I think you fall into that category as well.
It's a big part of it. The problem is sometimes it creates a different kind of energy, like when you're dealing with strangers. And I know he's done that on a few of his episodes. You get almost anxiety when there's nobody talking. Mm-hmm. That can come off as annoying, which obviously a few people kind of poked at him. But I have a hard time with interrupting people. I do it all the time, and I mentioned that in my latest episode. I'm a narcissist, and I will interrupt you and tell a story about me. I did it earlier to you already once or twice. I know, and I fucking try.
Well, this is a spotlight, so that's what you're here for. Yeah.
Well, I've gotten better at editing. That's the other thing, too. I listen to other people's shows, and I try to really hold myself to a standard of would I listen to this? And not just from an editing standpoint, because I always do that. I listen, through that. And then after that, I play it one time when I'm working. And, when I normally listen to my shows, just like a regular one. I listen through, and if there's anything that I hate, like whatever, I make the adjustment. And I try to do better every time. But I try to make sure that I'm never fucking boring. And I'm not, just going on and on about some nonsense. Like, if there's something I want you to hear, I want you to hear it. I'll put it up front. I'm proud of my fucking shit. I'm not saying it's the best, but I put work into it. So I appreciate it when other people do that.
No, and it definitely shows. And I mean, like I've already told you, even I think off mic tonight and before tonight, your most recent episode with Doug, I really enjoyed. And I mean, the one before that was fucking killer. I mean, I don't know who was on that one, but it was fucking awesome.
These motherfuckers from Tampa.
Something.
I don't know, man. Like, they were cool. We definitely have some good conversation.
I thought they were awesome.
The guy's wife was kind of a bitch, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. I do know what you're saying.
I've been called worse.
Oh, I'm just playing, y'all. I like your show, and I've said that to you privately, and I really do. I mean it, man. I think that you guys do a good job. You have a good format. I think you've got continuity? What's the fucking word?
Continuity.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you have a good continuity. And it's kind of like, I'm not saying every one of my shows is the same, but the format of the show structure is the same. It's the same intro. It's the same music. It's the same thing with me. And then a music in, music out. It's all part of it. Like, every song is picked for that thing. And I think that's what you have to do if you really want to hook somebody. You have to have something that every time they're going to want to come back and hear.
Sure.
Like, familiar.
See, and I never realized that was important. Like, we were just flying by the seat of our pants before, and we really didn't know what we were doing. And it was actually Jodie B that we did one episode with a bunch of Florida stories, and like that was the entire episode, because we found a bunch of fucking stories and we just read them. And I think we actually turned it into a game. Like, is this fake or is this Florida?
Yeah, fake or Florida.
And Jodie B listened to it, and he's like, that was good. You guys need to do that every week. And I'm like, well, I mean, we'll try it, and we tried it a few weeks and the response was good. So I was like, well, fuck it, dude. We're going to make it a thing, and then that actually makes it easier on me in creating an episode because I'm like, well, fucking half of it's done, because we're going to do the settle in shit. We're going to do the Florida stories. We're going to take a fucking break, and then boom, that's half the episode right there. Mm-hmm. So that's a load off of my mind, Mm-hmm. And I mean, if people dig it, then that's even better.
Yep.
So I appreciate it, man. But, and I mean, speaking of the Florida stories, when we do have guests, which I mean is kind of new to us. I mean, like, we weren't doing a lot of guesting before, like if you came on our show, it was because you were one of our, closer friends, and we're trying to step out of that comfort zone a little bit, in 2019. And I think we've done it so far with crossover and whatnot. But
it's podcast month, motherfucker. Good job. You got to get out of your shell and have new people on.
I didn't know that was a thing until you said that. And I was like, well, holy shit, look at that. And we're kicking off podcast month with a goddamn roast. Like, we're doing it right.
Yeah, but even the people that we have on as guests too, I mean, they are our friends.
No, for sure. And that's what, when you were talking about, having a stranger, that's kind of where my mind was going, is that we're doing guests, but we're having people that we know to alleviate some of that awkwardness, like, and I mean, I'm going to use Joe B for an example again, because when he had off-color discussions, he used to just reach out to authors or, people in town or whatever that had local business or whatever, and he'd have them come over to his house and fucking sit there and talk to them. Mm-hmm. And he might not have talked to them before that night, and you're meeting, you got that awkward first face-to-face meeting, and I mean, it's just, you got to push through that, and I don't know that I ever could. It's not me. And that's why we don't do a guest every week. We do a guest, every other. We've been trying, and they're usually one of our podcast buddies,
Yeah,
so
they were all strangers at one point too.
Right. And that's why right off the cuff, I don't really reach out to the newer people in that group. I reach out to the people that we've talked to for a while and I have a little bit of an established relationship with. I mean, this is all fucking calculated, babe. I'm not going to walk myself into a wood chipper.
Oh, you got it, man. I think that you do a little bit of a pre-op thing when you're texting and you're talking. But at the end of the day, I can usually tell who I can have a conversation with. I've got people. I talked to Doug today, talked to Doug on the phone for 10, 15 minutes about the whole thing with the Todd situation. Hashtag fuck Todd firing squad. Fuck Riley. All that stuff.
Nice.
Fuck Riley. That's another good one.
That's just from last night. That'll sink in later. But yeah, there's some other shit a brewing. I don't know when this is going to come out. We'll see where everybody stands after that, I guess, right?
Yeah, right.
Back to what you were saying. What the fuck were you saying?
Well, I was going to say when we do have guests or even when we try to step out to other shows, I try to look for where they live and see if we can find some fucked up stories from where they live, you know, kind of like bringing our flavor to their show, or even, like I said, if they're coming to our show, you know, we'll just, you know, kind of illustrate that this shit happens outside of Florida, you know, like y'all live in fucked up spots too. Quit fucking pointing fingers at us.
Well, you said Florida light earlier about Texas, and I almost put my finger up, literally. It's like, now Texas is a big place, and I understand that there's a lot more people to do a lot more weird shit, so maybe you're right. But Arkansas's got to be somewhere in that box, my friend.
Well, this was the first time I had ever looked for Arkansas. And, I mean, sometimes I come up with a few. Sometimes I strike out. But, I mean, when I search for Arkansas headlines, y'all are just as fucked up as we are, dude. A couple that stood out to me, just to name a couple. Arkansas man tries to steal a plane to fly to rap concert.
Saw that story.
You saw that? I mean, I was looking for the artist that he was going to see, but I couldn't.
Where were they trying to take the plane?
I couldn't turn it up.
Yeah, nobody ever said. He just said where he was going to see the thing. It was Chicago.
He was flying to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Arkansas man. The mountain lion thing, that was a pretty popular story last week or the week before. It was on like Fighter and the Kid, and Rogan talked about it. The guy who killed the mountain lion with his bare hands. Fucking Arkansas dude.
Wow, hardcore.
Fuck around, man.
I'm saying.
We're built Ford Tough down here, motherfucker.
Ford Tough. But there was the one that made me think of you, Jody. Arkansas man shoots a woman in the face with a crossbow.
On purpose?
I believe it was.
Oh, no.
There was an issue of some stolen merchandise, and he came to confront the lady.
Was it Chinese food?
Nah, I don't think so, baby.
Crossbow?
With a crossbow. She took the fucking arrow to the face. It came out the back of her dome, and she drove herself to the fucking hospital.
Wow.
That's a bad bitch. That's a bad bitch.
He's probably trying to
I understand why you picked this story.
Do you?
And I'm flattered. I really am. Kind of want to meet this lady. I think we could have a really interesting lunch.
Y'all might be neighbors.
You know what I'm thinking about right now? I wonder if I made that arrow.
You might have.
Yeah, that's one of your side hustles.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, man. I used to make a lot of crossbow arrows.
Could fucking be.
You never know, man.
Jody.
Well, it did its job.
Yeah, exactly. You did your job.
She said, and I quote, "I'm just glad the baby didn't get shot," she said.
Well, that's what I read. She was on the porch, and there were two kids, and this guy came to confront her about some shit, and he let the thing go, and she kind of like threw herself in front of the kids.
Oh, shit.
So I think she took it in place of one of the kids.
Holy shit, stolen property. So maybe one of the kids stole something that they weren't supposed to. And this motherfucker, he's probably a convicted felon, because I happen to know that you can't own a firearm unless you get a pardon from the governor or some shit. Like, if you're in the system with a felony, you cannot own a firearm. I'm telling you, no matter what anybody says.
But you can be Daryl from The Walking Dead.
Damn sure can have a crossbow. I think you can have a compound bow, so maybe he's kind of treading the line right now as it is. Came over hammered and was like, "You tell them boys to give me back my goddamn dirt bike car, whatever the fuck." And apparently tried to shoot at one of the kids, and homegirl jumped in the way, and it shot her in her face.
That's fucking bad.
That's gangster right there.
That's a bad bitch, dude. And then got up and fucking drove herself to the hospital. That is a bad bitch. But yeah, Jody, I mean, like, you and I, and like our shows or whatever, we're relatively new friends. I mean, the last couple of months, and I'm sure you go through this a fucking lot, man. Like when you meet new shows and new people, and then the subject comes up like, "Hey, motherfucker, you're missing half your face." How'd that happen?
Well, it's an interesting situation, because now I've lived with it for like 16 years. Mm-hmm. It's a long time, and I've got a scar on my face that's pretty damn noticeable from across the room, at least. It looks more like a cancer scar, like when you get from dipping tobacco or something like that. You know, people, you see them on TV where they get their jaws kind of sawed off or whatever, but Yeah, man. When I was 16, I went to a hunting range with my cousin, and we got ready to leave the location we were at there, and he put all of his shit on the hood of his pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And I was standing there talking to him. I smoked at the time, which is just, it's a good thing because in this case it really came in handy. No pun intended. I lit a cigarette and I said, "All right, man, let's get out of here." I shut the door on the pickup and I got in. And when I shut the door, all of his shit started to slide off the hood. And he had a very high caliber. It's a 7mm Magnum. I don't know if you guys know guns at all, but it's a very high caliber hunting rifle. When I shut the door, his shit started to slide off the hood, and he grabbed it, and it was loaded.
Oh, no.
So I was sitting in the truck, looking out the driver's side window, like taking a drag off of my cigarette. If you smoke at all, you kind of wrap your finger around your cigarette while you're looking.
Yeah.
It's a classic move, yeah. So I'm looking over, and I fucking take a drag off my cigarette, and I fucking turn back to look out the front as I'm doing the thing. It's in a split second, and bam.
Damn.
Wow.
So if you didn't take the drag off the cigarette, it would have hit the front of your face, and you wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it probably would have hit me right in the chin.
So what happened was the gum was sliding off, and he went to grab it, and when he grabbed it, it went off.
Grabbed it by the
through
trigger
the windshield, and then hit him in the face when he was dragging the cigarette. So if he was facing forward, it would have went off right in his front of his face.
I was 3 feet away from the barrel of a very high caliber hunting rifle.
God damn.
When it went off, man, it rung my ears. It was like just on Call of Duty and shit when you get a flashbang and shit goes like it was one of those. I've always said it sounds kind of like, and it's silly because I think I'm the only one that understands it, and it's a real hard situation to explain, but I'm cursed with this. I have a very vivid, like, photographic memory, and so, like, I remember some things so clearly. Even now, it's been this long, and I literally play head movies, and it's crazy because, like, there's some really good things that have happened that I can look at, like when my kid was born now, and these good memories. But I've also got some really fucking bad ones that I literally can just push play, like, in my mind, and I can relive it, instant by instant. And that was one of those days. Jeez. So when people ask me, I can literally walk you through it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's fucked up, man. I've always thought that it would be good to have that type of memory because I've laid in bed at night and I've thought about certain things and my memory is fucked, dude. I can't tell you what I did last week. I mean, we're talking about the roast. I can't even remember shit that was said fucking 24 hours ago.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if you got your face shot off, you'd remember that. Like I do. I have the same thing about the dog bite on my arm. When you go through that sort of trauma, it's hard to forget it.
Yeah.
It's like burned in there. But it's like I said, it works for good stuff too. There's just not as much. Now, I am actively working to, reset that balance. Mm-hmm. I'm getting to a point now that, I'm happy. I've been with my wife almost 10 years. Matter of fact, our 10-year of meeting each other anniversary is coming up in like a couple months. So, I mean, it's cool. She's put me in a really good place. I used to be not such a great guy, and she's helped me a lot. So it's cool now because I get to share those kind of stories with people if they're willing to listen. But sometimes I feel like I talk too much, so it's just it's an odd balance.
No, it's an audio medium, and you're a guest, man. Like, spotlight's on you. I was hoping that you would tell this story tonight because that's what I was kind of saying before. Like, as new people come into this mix that we're in, like, I even feel like I'm like second tier now because like we've been chatting for the last few months, and now new shows come in, and I mean, like, it's almost like you have to rehash the same shit over and over and over. Like,
I do, and it's funny because I don't think any of the people that are in the inner circle, the sanctum, I don't think that you guys would say anything about this shit's getting old. My wife says it after 10 years. You think she hasn't heard the I got shot in the face story enough times?
Yeah, right.
She's just like, whatever, motherfucker.
You still here? Stop bitching.
Yeah. I do that shit all the time. I've only got 4 fucking fingers. And she's like, wah, I pushed a baby out of my pussy hole. Why don't you get up and make me
Did she have drugs? Because if she had drugs, then she can't be complaining.
Yes, she fucking can. Yes, she can.
The afterbirth is the worst, I told you.
That is still a harrowing feat to push a fucking watermelon through a lemon.
Our bodies are built for that. Our cervix expands.
Be that as it may. I'm not trying to fucking do that. The fuck? Is that your theme music?
That was ladies' theme music. That's Bob Seger.
Oh.
You're not that old. You fucking know Bob Seger.
I love Bob Seger, but yeah, I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it.
I need to work on my singing lessons.
He's coming to Florida. He's having a concert here soon.
Well, you know what? You should take me.
I should take you.
Don't do that. Don't go see him. Look, get the greatest hits.
I got them.
Brownie. Or if you want to smoke some other kind of weed, get you like a fat blunt or something, man. Fucking get high as shit and listen to Bob Seger's greatest hits in your backyard and eat a cheeseburger or something. Well, don't spend $300 to go see 75-year-old Bob Seger.
I didn't know it was going to be that much. Fuck that.
It may not be $300. It's too much.
That's like a
you
Garth
can't
Brooks
hit
concert.
the notes anymore, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, think how much weed you can buy with that.
Right.
There's plenty of other shit. I could buy everybody a copy of Bob Seger's greatest hits for like $100 maybe, and still come off with enough to get like a good solid joint out of it.
I'd be surprised if he even sings anymore. They might just play his music and he just
don't
lip
say that.
sings.
Don't say that. I don't want to even think that, man.
Why?
Bob Seger's got some fucking bangers, dude. And I'm with Jody as he's saying this. You know, he's like, yeah, I mean, you know, and I mean, I don't know about eating weed or anything like that. I don't know what that might do to you. Or anything.
Whatever.
I haven't had a good experience with it yet. I'm just assuming like that would probably go well together because you could mellow out and just sit there in your chair and close your eyes and breathe and just go through.
He's got some bangers, dude. He's got some bangers, man, that just take you back to 16, dude. Fucking Night Moves. Holy shit, dude. Just sit there, smoke a fucking joint and listen to Night Moves, dude. Come on.
He's only got greatest hits.
I'm telling you. Fucking Silver Bullet.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Shout out to you, Bob Seger.
Well, see, and Night Moves is one thing. I like the songs when he actually goes for it, like Catmandu and fucking The Fire Down Below and shit like that. When he's really singing and screaming, "She love an apple rose," that shit is hard to do when you're worn out.
Oh, bro.
I'm sorry. There's some people that didn't wear it out as much because they weren't as popular, and they can still sing in their 70s. But Bobby,
shit,
you gotta
70s.
Else.
Fucking 70s. We went and saw Motley Crue, and Vince Neil couldn't hit the fucking notes, and he was in his 40s, man. Like, that motherfucker was out of shape and
winded,
out of breath and trying to run around and fucking do his whole stage show and thing. And I'm like, dude, just stand still and sing, man. I'd rather hear you sing than watch you fucking pass out up there, you know, because you can't fucking breathe.
Axl Rose is still doing shows, right?
God, he looks terrible.
Yeah, he does.
Axl Rose is doing shows, but yeah, he looks like he fucking ate the old Axl Rose.
Yeah, he does.
I'll say this about Axl Rose, because I said there's always the Axl Rose factor with some people. Axl didn't sing for like 20 years. So for his kind of music, if he would have sang for 20 years, he wouldn't be doing it right now, I promise.
Right.
You know, there's some people that I think they set themselves up for it, like Alice Cooper. I saw Alice Cooper a few years ago. He's old as fuck.
Sure.
His stage presence, his stage show, his songs, they're all the same. He doesn't write new shit. He just shows up and does the same shit he's always done, and it kills. There's some lady that jumps on top of a speaker box in metal. She's a hot chick in metal panties, and she takes an angle grinder and she starts shooting fucking sparks off of her fucking crotch, and she's just like, wow, 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 wow. It's amazing. There's lights and a giant Alice Cooper blow up thing. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and some people can do it. But some people need to go the fuck home. And
that sounds like a fantastic stage show.
Sounds like when we were doing Guitar Hero or whatever, and it had that big like bat flying or whatever over the stage when you were going on tour.
Yeah, I miss that shit.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
We used to go on tour a lot.
Yeah, in our living room.
The Guitar Hero.
The Duchess and I had our own band. It was called Moosecock, and we used to fucking jam out the classics.
I like that. That's a great fucking band name.
We'd stand back to back with our plastic fucking guitars, and we'd fucking wail.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard.
Well, you know, be that as it may.
I was better than him.
I'm not saying that I didn't do it. I'm just saying it's the gayest greatest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, when Rock Band came out, that was a game changer because I could sing. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I got the latest edition of Guitar Hero, like live or whatever, right before I stopped playing video games or I had a kid. And that was kind of crazy because that one, they actually videotaped crowds.
I remember seeing that. And
you're on stage, and if you start sucking, the first 6 people in a row start going, boo!
Oh, yeah. They did it on the old one, too.
And, you know, you look, and your guy starts looking at your drummer, and your drummer is like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're standing there going, bang, 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 and they'll kick you the fuck off the stage. It's awesome. And it missed me. I bought it and never played it.
Oh, I miss it.
Well, our guitar, we had to throw ours out because they
we used to
didn't
have
work
parties.
anymore.
Yeah, we used to have Rock Band parties where we'd pack the house and everyone would treat it like karaoke. And
pretty much.
Yeah, Duchess would just sit there with a guitar like she was fucking Slash, and she wouldn't get off it. She would just sit there and fucking play guitar all night.
Unless somebody else wanted to, but mostly everybody just wanted to sing.
Yeah, yeah. But
I got them fast fingers.
You do got them fast fingers. Spunklube.com. Yeah, so we did the roast last night, man. What's your impressions on that? I wanted to kind of recap the fucking chaos with you a little bit while I got you here, and we're fresh off it.
I don't think I've ever listened. Oh, no, I take that back. I've listened to the last couple episodes of Bigger Bots. I was gonna say I haven't really listened to PJ at all. There's 2 people that were there last night. I don't know who the fuck they were, and I said that in the after party. There was 2 dudes that were just in their little picture box in the top.
That was Hunter and Riley, wasn't it?
I didn't know who Hunter was. I thought they were the same person.
One of them might have been Hunter, but I thought Hunter was with Riley. I didn't realize that he was on his own Skype account.
Yeah.
So maybe one of them was definitely Hunter. I didn't know if maybe one of the Hood Diner guys showed up or somebody else was listening live, just hanging out. But
you know what Two said when Two Rings walked in, because before we started, I actually added him to the Skype call so he could fucking come in and chat with us or whatever. And once he got added, even though he wasn't on, he was on the list. So he's like, I think Jody was talking about me, man, because I'm sitting there with my beard.
It might have been you. Shit. No, I really think that everybody. I don't think anybody did terrible. Does that make sense? Like, I feel everybody at least got 1 or 2 good shots off. So something that they actually sat down and wrote. Now, it does suck because even for me, there was a few that got copied. But let me tell you, some of that shit was wonderful.
Well, and there's certain low hanging fruit. Like,
you hold the fuck on, sir. Amanda had a joke later where she said, sitting on a face is like riding a bicycle. I would never sit on your face because I would never ride a bike with half a seat. Right. That's what she said. Right. She said, I would never ride a bicycle with half a seat, which was
I say bullshit.
Pretty fucking good.
I say bullshit. Yes, you would.
Pretty fucking good. But pretty sure that Duchess was the first person that made a comment. Did you say something about sitting?
I did. I sure did. I said you just Poe, and I said when your wife sits on your face, her ass is hanging halfway off the seat. But then I said, good thing you've got them 4 fingers to banging her ass or something like that.
Go 4 digits.
Oh
deep
yeah,
or
4 nuggets
there.
deep in that ass.
4 nuggets deep in that ass. It made me laugh. So, like, I'm telling you, I think there were a few people that really shined, and I hope I didn't hurt anybody's fucking feelings. Look, I had
you
my
were
shit
awesome. You were great. I don't think anybody could have done a better job opening the show.
And that's, strategically why I put you first, because I knew that I wanted to bookend it, and I knew you and Adam were 2 of the strongest people. And I know Adam actually does stand up, so he's comfortable on a stage behind the mic. I was like, I'll let him close it out. Who's the next closest, that I would want to, kick it off right? Well, Jody motherfucking B, dude. I want him to start it. And that's why I put you up there, and you didn't disappoint, man.
Nope.
No, that was the first for me. I don't think I've ever done a roast type thing. And plus, I mentioned that there was some other shit. I feel like it was a great way to blow off some steam. So I'm saying this to anybody right now that might be listening. I'm a firm believer in mental health stuff. If you got issues, you need to go see a doctor. Go see a fucking doctor, man.
He's talking to you too.
Go see it. You should go. No, man, it's cool because there's something for everybody here. With podcasting especially, that I wouldn't have got a chance to sit down and write something where I was in kind of a shitty place and I needed a vent. And up until literally last night, dude, I had something kind of stuck in there. Like this little ball of semi-hate, kind of lovey, I want to make sure and do this right on the first take because we're doing it live. And I did too. Right there when I started, I said, okay, here we go. And I fucking started talking. I was a little shaky the first couple seconds, but once I caught my rhythm, dude, I was like, all right, let's finish this off. And I even said some shit about the NSFW at the end of that with me going full heel. It sucks because we didn't get to hear some of those. I think Brooke and Randall did really good. I told Randall because he was only going to talk about Jason. He was insistent upon it. He said, I'm not going to fucking do it. And I said, Randall, you motherfucker, if you don't talk shit about everybody else, it's not going to work. I said, you might as well not even do anything.
Well, now, is that because of the whole you want the smoke thing? Like, was he worried about, like, hurting someone's feelings or starting more shit? Or was he just not comfortable?
He doesn't like doing that kind of... Randall's a teddy bear, guys. Like, he really doesn't like confrontation. Now, he's got a good bark. I promise if Jason Alme would have said, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself, bitch? Right after that, I think it would have been a solid day before anybody responded, and Brooke probably would have been the one to do it. And I'm not saying that because he's a pussy. I'm saying because he's just like, he's a Hulk, man. Like, he's going to just be like, well, fuck you then. But today he's 40 and he's had his neck fused. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's he going to do? Get into a fist fight? You really need to count those. You don't fucking just go throwing those around at some dickhead on Twitter. So it's funny to me because I know that Randall didn't want to say anything about anybody. And I said, you have to. You fucking have to. Because that's the way it works. Mm-hmm. And he said he didn't they wrote all their jokes. But what I told him, I said, you don't understand. You have a golden opportunity here. I said, because you can literally say anything you want as long as you say something about smoke.
Right.
It's like you're fucking get her done. Like, as long you could say,
you're right.
And I hope your baby comes out black and I'm going to punt it in the fucking head. Get that smoke.
Right.
If anything you said before that is going to be the punchline. I said, as long as you hit yourself with one of those somewhere in there and you just say, get that smoke. Mm-hmm. It's going to work. And I listened to their set. I laughed my fucking dick off. I'm really happy with some people that stepped up.
No, I agree. When I first, he sent it to me too, and I opened it up a couple hours before we all got together. And the first thought I had when I looked at the file was, holy shit, they talked for 14 and a half minutes? Jesus Christ, that's long.
That's a joke too, because I mean, everybody says he talks slow as fuck anyway.
It goes quick, actually.
Yeah, but it does go quick.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a good format. I don't know how many times they practiced or if they finally were just like, doing the thing, but it's just, I know that Randall hates it, and that's what makes it so good. Now, other people might be sold on it because obviously there wasn't responses like with our jokes. Like, they didn't get laughs in between. They had to plan that whole thing out.
Right. So
I'm saying, like, they were probably going, all right, let's just fucking do it. Well, fuck these guys. Knowing full well that the result is going to be us laughing our dicks off because they're going hard as fuck at a few of us. I love it, man. I think it's awesome.
No, I did too, and I'm kind of in the same boat too. I mean, that's why I told Jason I didn't want to do it, man. I'm not a shit talker. I don't fucking talk shit to nobody. And on top of that, I'm not a goddamn comedian. I'm not trying to write material. And then when we fucking sat down, I told Jason, I said, fuck you, because I did exactly what I told you I didn't want to do. I sat down and I wrote fucking material. Now, granted, it was only 30 seconds per person or whatever, just to fucking bring you up or whatever, but I still did it, and I didn't want to.
Well, and you said as when you started, it just kind of like started flowing.
It did. Because I wrote my little intro for Jason, and I was happy with it, and then I'm like, well, I'll just start the next couple people, and obviously you were first, and Dave was second, and I got you guys nailed down, and then I was like, fuck it, dude, it just all came out of me. I think I did it on Adam's couch when I was in New Jersey, and we were watching the roast of like fucking Rob Lowe or something on Comedy Central.
Lowe.
Yeah, he pulled one up because I'm like, dude, I don't even know how this is supposed to go, and he pulled one up and he was like, just watch it. And while I was watching it, I was on my phone and I was typing shit out, and one thing led to another, and that's what you got. I hope it did well.
It was fine.
It's a very fun muscle to flex, and I think that everybody that participated, you basically did your first open mic set. If you performed live last night, you did your first fucking 7 minutes I'm just saying, I know the feeling. My legs were shaking too, sitting over here trying to do it right the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. And anybody that actually got their shit off last night and felt good about it, hey man, good job.
Man, I was introing you and my chest was all tight and I was out of breath and shit, dude. Like, stop fucking laughing, dude. Because he's sitting at home watching us on YouTube and shit, going, ha ha ha, motherfucker. I could see you're uncomfortable.
I was enjoying it all though. It was awesome.
I tell you what, the surprise of my night, and I just realized it tonight when I rewatched it, was how I put Adam off of his game when he said something to me and I fired right back at him, and just watching his video of his face, I was like, oh my god, I derailed his whole fucking thing, dude. And like, he's the goddamn closer. Yeah, he was like, his face, he looked at me like, fuck you, dude, why did you do that?
Hey, let's do the final edit on it. When is this coming out? When is this episode of your show coming out?
Tomorrow.
Before or after?
Tomorrow.
Okay, listen, whoever's editing the show, cut out the part about Wutsky being a rapper. Just all together. Just cut it from the first two sentences and make that shit disappear and just go, Chris Wutsky is here, and then go to whatever the fuck I said after that. It's so dumb.
I want to know how that happened.
Probably because I rap.
Yeah, but this was before that.
Oh.
Dude, I'm telling you something, because Dave's fucking Chaffee said the same thing. There's something that we listened to. I'm pretty sure it's with you and Jodie. There was something in there that I know he was talking about rapping. Maybe I got your voice confused for a moment. I don't know what happened, but for some reason I was like, oh, both of you fuckfaces used to rap. Cool.
No, that made it funny, though, because then afterwards, I think I even told you, I was like, nah, Jodie, that's your racism showing. Just because I had a record label doesn't mean I was a fucking rapper.
Makes sense. And then I called you Little John. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. I was like, I'm watching it, live like everybody else, and I was like, wait, no, I didn't.
I stand by it because there's a couple of those things that were just flat out fucking just haymakers out of nowhere. Like, I don't know if Alme was a drunk. I don't know if he was an Alcoholics Anonymous, but for some reason right there when I said something about doing something for a year or 2 years, I said, oh, all you get for that is a thing. And I know they don't drink for whatever reason. And I go, that's all you get is a coin too, right? You fucking drunk. Like, I think a lot of it's delivery. You can say whatever the fuck you want as long as you, like, I took a conscious effort to start witty with jokes about frog farts and why don't you eat a salad and shit like that. So I started kind of playful, and then I turned into, hey, Randall Fowler and Honky Kong and shoot him in his fucking head. And then I got to you, to Jason, and then at the end it was fuck all y'all. That was my plan. And I hope that's what it came across as. It wasn't like a legit thing. It was just my mind said, let's go this direction. Even with the girls, like, it was funny to me that Brooke, was it Duchess? That you were the one that started that whole shit in the chat room.
What'd she do?
I wasn't gonna roast everybody's
wives or whatever, yeah.
And so, like, it was either it was you or it was Brooke. Somebody was like, well, what the fuck? And I go, God damn it, I'm already written all my shit. And I said, okay.
And I was just joking because I said something like, I'm offended that you don't think that I'm equal as a man or something like that.
No, that hit a chord. And I go, you know what? You are absolutely right. If I'm talking crazy about Blunt Mommy, I should damn well talk about y'all. But I had already written everything. And I go, fuck, well, Jason ruined some shit by getting his wife pregnant. Or whoever might have shot a load off in there.
There's some speculation.
So I cleared that out, and it just so happened to be the day that you guys said that shit to me that I guess I found out or I figured it out or whatever. And I was like, okay, I don't know enough about y'all to really get in some good jabs or to make good jokes. So I just said,
I'll create a fictitious rap career.
That worked.
Well, that's why I didn't do everybody.
Fuck you. But as far as the women go, I didn't say fuck this thing. I said just fuck all y'all. I think it worked out okay. And as long as everybody was happy with it, and I didn't hurt anybody's feelings, I'm cool with it. I think
if anybody's feelings got hurt, fuck them.
I for sure was happy with it.
Yeah, everybody came into this knowing what it was,
right?
So I mean, some might have a little bit of truth nuggets in there, but for the most part, it was all in fun. And if you got offended, well, then don't do it again.
There's truth in the jokes. I mean, that's how jokes work, guys. That's and that's another project. We've got that other thing going. and I'm on the dais for that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The Comedy is Dead show.
Yeah, we want to mix everybody into that. That was a good time. That was a good time. So
our next shit.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go, move.
I forgot what I was going to fucking say.
I know what I was going to say. We've already got the topics picked out.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
No, yeah, that'll be a good one. There was a little bit of pressure on this first one since we were all together and we were recording, at the studio and everything. And I mean, we were in the car on the way over there, and Adam says to me, "Oh, by the way, you're going to host it." And I'm like, "What the fuck? I don't know what I'm doing." He's like, all you got to do is host it. I guess. So I'm sure that came through too. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but
not at all.
We'll be more polished for the next one.
I feel bad because I actually called somebody else to try. I was involved a little with trying to arrange the first one, and I had a guy that I wanted to be the announcer, but not because any particular reason. I knew he was very combative, so he would fire back and shit like that. But that was a dry run for you to definitely give that a shot for this whole thing. And when I heard you were very diplomatic, but you were firm. You fucking snapped at somebody who
Jason.
interrupted. Yeah, you were like, "Hey, shut the fuck up for a second." And it was like, "All right, that's cool," because it was Christina was making a point, and you said, "You shut the fuck up for a minute and let her finish." Cool. So I feel like it's nice. I can tell with your show, you're really good at driving a conversation. Now, maybe it helps to have everybody around you to get off into your different topics and stuff. But yeah, man, I think you've got it in you. I don't know. You've probably done management at some point, but it shows.
I'm doing it right now, allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, we're already like 2 hours into this conversation.
We are not, you fucking embellisher.
The phone since 8:30, motherfucker. It's 10:30 right now. So.
Well, we can put a bow on this, man. I just wanted to get a chance to sit and talk with you. Like I said, get a little bit of your backstory and what makes you tick. And then we just happened to sit last night and do this fucking comedy gold thing here, which I mean, Jason's editing it all, so it probably won't see the light of day for at least a fucking month or so.
Jesus.
But so we might have it by Easter.
Yeah, it might be a nice little Easter present.
Nice.
I called him right before. I said, "Are you excited, motherfucker?" And he was like, Yeah. I'm pretty. I'm excited. I think it's gonna work out okay. And I go, well, cool.
That didn't sound excited to me. That sounded like, now I got to go through this shit.
Well, and I mean, like, there was a little bit of a shit show with technical difficulties and whatnot, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we had a good time. Our material was good, and that's what counts. So, I mean, hopefully we can get past the technical difficulties and, release a good episode that really, encompasses what everybody put into it, because there was a lot of effort by all that, were involved, and I want to see that spotlighted.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I think everybody should listen to their copies and listen to what they have the best pieces of, and we should chop that up and make the best copy. That's my opinion. If we need to cover stuff, we need to re-record stuff, I think we should do that because I think that it worked very well and it deserves to get everybody's best shot. It was a very communicative effort between everybody showing up and doing their shit and bringing the fucking smoke. And
now you owe Randall royalties, goddammit.
Hey, it's cool. I might get one of them T-shirts.
Yeah, I didn't want to fucking blow up his spot because I didn't know if that was like a thing, but he sent me a message earlier on Twitter. And he said, "Hey, I'm sending you one of these on the house," and it just was a T-shirt that said, "Get the smoke."
It's amazing. And that's what I'm saying. I think that we all make each other either work a little harder, do a little better, think a little different, and it's a good group of people that we've come across, and I'm happy to have met all of y'all. Is fucking Tampa Titty 2 Rings is still even there?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I feel like such an asshole.
No, I'm just taking it all in.
That's his thing, dude. When there's guests here, he clams the fuck up, and then next week he'll be back to normal.
I bulldoze conversations, and that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I will definitely fucking have a conversation with old Jay Tampa 2 Rings at some point in the near future if you'll have me.
It's all good.
He can even customize you some work boots or something if you want, man.
Some work boots.
I wear Crocs. Do you do any Croc work?
Oh yeah, I can do whatever.
Croc work.
maybe do some Clockwork Orange or something on there.
Listen.
You see what I did there?
Dad joke.
See, we fucking inspire each other.
monocles
Listen, I
around
have
the
a
holes.
brand new pair of camouflage Crocs in my closet right now. I will happily fucking mail you, and you can do whatever the hell you want. I don't. Well, we got to talk about a price. But I don't
Put a
fucking-
gator on your shit.
I've been watching that Slobby Robbie motherfucker charge people $800. You brought him up. Fuck that guy.
Oh no, I don't. I wouldn't charge that much.
Look, you got them all flustered. You got them all flustered.
Yeah,
now.
he ain't Slobby Robbie.
For another fucking day. But no, and it's quite simple. You know, I love talking to people. And if you'll have me, anybody, you can hit me up on Twitter at Jodie B 501 at PoBoy Pod. You can Google my show, PoBoy's Podcast. I'm the only one. I'm on Twitter and fucking iTunes. And do they have podcasts on Twitter? Am I drunk? Oh no. I'm just saying.
They have the gateway to podcasts on Twitter, so you're almost there, and that's okay.
Hey, here's a really fun one that I've just picked up on lately. So this is a new kind of shameless plug. Hey Google, play the latest episode of the PoBoys Podcast. Hey Alexa, play the latest episode of the PoBoys Podcast. That'll be for anybody that happens to listen to it in their car. Fuck your show. You're going to listen to me now because I'm a narcissist and I also love talking about myself. And
I was going to say, did you just drop like a fucking terrorist bomb on our show where like it's going to the AI is going to commandeer everybody's device now when you said that and it's going to just shift over?
Everybody's going to... I hope everybody bought headphones. With all these smart devices, people are so confident that nobody's listening. Well, guess what? If you're going to listen, you're going to listen to me, motherfucker. And
you should. Jodie, thanks for sitting with us tonight, man. I appreciate you coming on. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, and it was good to sit with you on your show last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. Thanks for returning the favor. This has been another episode of the Hashtag No Offense Show. If you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a shot, and we hope that you will come back and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're literally available everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, CastBox, any of them, we're there. You can call the show. We got a new line, which I'll probably patch in a couple voicemails. I think Joe B is going to call us every week now. Give us a shot. Leave us a voicemail. It's 813-773-5706. And leave any questions, comments,
opinions.
Opinions, says the Duchess. Anything you want us to hear and the good shit we'll play on the show. And we appreciate you. Mm-hmm. You can reach us on all the social media platforms at HTNOS. That's HTNOS. On the web at htnos.com or by emailing us at htnos@yahoo.com. If you want to look me up specifically, I don't know why you would, but I'm the real Wutsky every fucking where. Duchess, where can we find you, baby?
Duchess Wutsky on Twitter.
Jason?
All right, so
Jay from Tampa.
Pick one. Just pick one. Just pick one.
Twitter. Jay, well, I don't do anything on Twitter.
Him.
I'll just do Instagram. So J Louis BB.
J Louis BB on Instagram. Check out his shoes. He's building himself quite a little portfolio.
Say, do you just have a page for your shoes?
I just use
Not
my
yet?
personal Instagram.
J. Louis Big Balls.
I do the shoes and the show. Those are the two things I do on there.
The shoes and the show. That's what I like about you, Jay. If you're a fan of the show and what we do, please consider supporting us on patreon.com. We're at HTNOS, and if you do, we'll throw you some stickers. I mean, even if you're just a fan of the show and you drop me a message or you leave us a voicemail, fuck it, dude. I'll send you some stickers. Don't forget about our new contest for Spunk Lube. Send us those awkward, awesome, all of the above, whatever dating stories.
If they did the voicemail with the stories.
If you want to leave your story submissions as a voicemail, we can actually play it on the show. So I mean, that's good brain on you, Duchess.
I do what I can.
You're not too hungover from the roast. This has been another episode of Hashtag No Offense. Jodie, appreciate you sitting with us.
Thanks for having me, all of you, and cheers to everybody if you made it this far. I appreciate you playing along, and you motherfuckers have a great week. Thanks.
Hashtag No Offense.
Listen, I'm also going to smoke marijuana, and I'm going to have myself a vodka drink here. So I'm going to catch up. That's the problem. So give me I need the first 5 minutes. I'm going to be doing this for a few minutes.
No.
Well, now that we're sitting here and we're about to start, I kind of want a beer. So I'm gonna...
yeah. Come on, guys.
Right,
let's have a good time after last night. We should celebrate a little bit because I think
the three of us
were the fucking VIPs, right?